That city is just, it's a target. You look at it and you always say, you're right. It's just, even after the Trade Center, it's just looming like, it could happen again someday. Something could happen.
I still remember being in the city the time they hit the first time they hit the World Trade Center. I was on like Broadway and I was delivering packages for a phone company.
You mean the first bombing?
The first bombing in 93, 94. I remember I had a pager. And in those days, my job was from 1 to 5. I'd get 400 a week. And I had a certain coverage every day. And I had to drop off packages in that coverage. Probably drop off 6 packages. And sometimes they drove me up to the fucking place. And all I had to do was run upstairs on the fucking elevator, sign the thing, and drop off the package. It was some type of phone messaging service. They got bought by Sprint or something years later. They were out of Virginia. I forget who the fuck they were now. And they were giving me 400 a week just to drop off packages every fucking day, down and low, all around. Yeah. And I had a pager. And for some reason, the pager stopped working because somebody told me they were going to call me in an hour. And this person always called me. And I fucking said, fuck it, I'm not going to wait in the city all afternoon for them to call me back. I guess I'm done for the day. And I took the fucking bus over. And I knew the World Trade Center had been hit. But I guess they hit the tower, so there was no reception for a bunch of people. I didn't know this shit till later.
Right.
That's why my pager, they had been paging me. I just wasn't getting no pages because they had knocked down something.
Signal, yeah.
I still remember that. I still remember being in the city that fucking day. So when it happened the second time, I was in fucking Schrade. I was in Hollywood Boulevard.
No, I was in the Jersey Shore, and a friend called me, and he said I was going to fly that week, too, ironically. And he goes, Turturro, you home? I was, yeah. He goes, why? Turn the TV on. We're at war or some shit. And I said, war? I had a bad fight, too, at home the night before. Man, a bad drag down. I don't know, over nothing, over some stupid shit. And then I turned the TV on, it looked like a little toy. It was coming right through. I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. And the plane that went right through the second. It was just surreal. Fucking surreal. And then I think about a week later, a week or two later, I drove back cross country. I fucking drove back. I got mistaken in Walmart for a terrorist one time. And me and this guy Gabe, my Filipino cousin.
All right, after that.
Crazy white woman.
For 2 months.
Terrorist, she goes.
It was tough.
What the fuck? I wish it was a Walmart employee because I said I could sue Walmart. They were accusing me of being a terrorist.
On the drive back?
Yeah, on the drive back. I stopped like in Kansas. I stopped in all these places. I went to baseball stadiums. I was driving a fucking Toyota Sequoia and I was pulling a fucking little U-Haul. It said you could go about 45 mile an hour with the U-Haul. I was doing about 90. That fucking U-Haul. I pull into these baseball stadiums, right? And the problem was parking the motherfucker.
With the U-Haul?
Yeah, but the U-Haul's attached to it's attached to the car.
Why didn't you just leave the U-Haul at the hotel?
Oh, I was carrying stuff back from Jersey in that U-Haul. And so I'd pull in the fucking parking lot. Then I'd have to attach the U-Haul and put the U-Haul in one spot and the Sequoia in another. And one time, man, whatever, the Baltimore Orioles told me, it's very ugly. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? They go, you go park it somewhere else.
So you can't be driving a U-Haul looking the way you do 2 weeks after 9/11.
I was a fucking idiot.
That is the funniest fucking
funniest
thing of
shit.
all time.
One time the U-Haul, I disconnected it. It started fucking going down in Kansas City. It started like going down the road. I was grabbing it almost. It weighed a lot of weight,
They're
man.
fucking heavy, those things.
Fucking heavy.
Oh.
It was hysterical. I mean, only a guy like me would be driving cross country with a U-Haul and a Toyota Sequoia.
And stopping at Major League Baseball.
Stopping in Kansas City. I stopped in Camden Yards. I stopped in Coors Field. I stopped, where else did I stop? Pittsburgh. I was doing my baseball tour.
But just the thought that some lady thought
Yeah.
Did they stop you?
No, it was the woman. She was a customer. She was looking at my Gabe, who's Filipino, and me, who I'm dark, so I can be mistaken for an Iranian at times or anything.
And Gabe, who the fuck knows?
Gabe is like fucking Forrest Gump. That's my right-hand man. He was like, Nick, they think we're terrorists. I was like, Gabe, stop it. He's like the fucking Rain Man. Gabe is like the fucking highly functioning, you know, or he's idiot
God.
savant. He's fucking hilarious, man. Just trying to express myself. It's fucking great, Gabe. You know, like he watches me watching the Yankee games, so he's a Seahawk fan. So now, like when he watches the Seahawk games, he's like, "Motherfucker, fuck you!" He's like, he became like me, like watching the Yankee games because he likes to curse now because he feels like he can express himself better that way.
Listen, I love Lee Sayat. He's my brother. I love him to death. I love breaking his balls, and we're in Vegas. And the funniest fucking thing happens now. In life, you go out and, like, I had 5 friends when I hung out. Like, when I was in 1982, I had Pelican, Stinky, me, and fucking Fernie. That was the 4 of us. I knew each of our limitations, and I knew who was capable of doing who and what at any minute. Stinky was the type of guy that he loved everything we did, but he didn't want to hold anything. So, you know what? He'd pay you for the coke, but he didn't want to hold it. He was just one of those dudes, I'd rather not hold it.
Right.
Fernie, on the other hand, would strap a fucking donkey onto him and walk across the border. like nothing happened, you know what I'm saying? And the other fucking lunatic, Roger, he'd do anything. Like, he was just crazy. So when things happen, when those guys are around, nothing surprises you. Do you understand? Those crew of people that you grew up with,
right? That
you really know. Now, I really got to know Lee, and I know he's a sweetheart of a guy. And we're in Las Vegas, right? And the star guy comes, right? The guy, and he shows up, and we're having a good time. It's after a show in Vegas. It's got to be 400 people. 200 people leave, and there's actually 200 people standing around. And we're just talking. But there's 10 bags of those things going around. And people are just fucking eating them in the hallway of this hotel in fucking Las Vegas like it's popcorn at a movie theater, right? And I'm looking at this scene going, holy shit, this is hysterical. And the next thing you know, I see a security guard run up, and he just like points at Lee. And I'm like, and I'm talking to like people. I'm trying to be nice. I just can't leave the people. I'm trying to pay attention to the people, but at the same time see what's going on with Lee. And the next thing you know, Lee's almost going to get arrested because the cameras saw him giving somebody a star. So they escorted him to his room, took his fucking, made him get dressed, and they escorted him out of the hotel like a fucking criminal. We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.